Hey, this is Board with Life news for September 16th. Today we're going to talk about the new Carcassonne game, Carcassonne South Sea, the new expansion for Sulkin, Tribes and Prophecies. We're going to talk about a couple games in the upcoming Dice Masters series, and we are going to talk about the Kickstarter for Fantasy Frontier. Let's get to it! Hey, I'm Chris, and this is Board with Life news. Let me first apologize for not having news last week. I left my battery at Donald's house, blah, 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 long story. But we're back, and we're gonna just destroy it this week. We had the season finale of our show, Board with Life, the series, last Thursday. So if you haven't seen that, hop back over and see it. And we're already hard at work on the upcoming seasons and everything going with that. Don't worry, we're still gonna have bits every single Tuesday coming out like they have been. We're gonna have news every Monday. We're gonna have special interviews and all sorts of cool content. So make sure you keep up to date on that, and we'll be getting back to the series as soon as we can. All right, now let's get into the news. The first game we're going to talk about this week is Carcassonne South Sea. It's the first in their new series of games called Carcassonne Around the World. Carcassonne introduced meeples, the things that you love, little wooden guys, to the world of gaming. It's an incredibly popular kind of intro game for gamers. And the new game is actually going to be the 600,000th, 431st game that's come out labeled Carcassonne. But yeah, this one looks like classic Carcassonne, tile placement, area control mechanics. I think it's going to introduce some like new shipping elements and stuff like that. But it looks pretty similar to the original Carcassonne, so if you're a big fan of that and want a new one, hop on it. It is certainly a great game, and they are never, ever, ever going to stop releasing Carcassonne things. So this is just that. All right, now on the news that I'm super excited about, because this is one of my absolute favorite games of the past couple years. It's an expansion for the game Sulkin, the Mayan calendar. And this one is Sulkin, Tribes and Prophecies. Sulkin, man, that game is, it's like gamer porn with the gears that move together in tiny little blue skulls. Oh, I love it so much. Tribes and Prophecies is going to introduce, the players can be tribe leaders, which is going to have your special abilities. So that'll add to the complexity of the game a little bit. And then the prophecies are going to be, each game, there are going to be 3 random prophecies dealt out, and those will affect the overall gameplay. So it just adds a little bit more depth and a little bit more replayability to the game, which is great. But the thing that I'm most excited about with it is it's going to add the possibility for a 5th player. Where Sulkin is only a 4-player game, this will be now a 5-player game, which our gaming group is always too big. So having more players is always a great thing for us. So that's something I'm very excited about coming out in the near future. Up next is going to be, I bet, a really big, large release, ongoing release, and it is Dice Masters. WizKids that released Quarriors is now going to be applying a lot of the Quarriors design, the dice building mechanic, to a lot of popular themes. So far in it, they've announced Yu-Gi-Oh! There's going to be Marvel with Avengers vs. X-Men. I'm going to talk mostly about Avengers vs. X-Men because that's the one I'm most excited about. It is going to be released and looks a lot like it's going to be a collectible game like HeroClix or any of those, because the initial set is going to have 44 dice and 38 cards and be totally playable, but then they're also going to have booster packs that are going to have 2 dice and 2 cards per pack. So it's going to be a thing where you're kind of searching through trying to find your favorite characters. Also, like a collectible game, it's going to be, you're going to bring your own 20 dice to draw from your pool, as opposed to Quarriors, which everyone draws from a collective pool. This, you're going to be building your own deck, basically, of dice and bringing that to fight another person. So it seems like they're just kind of melding HeroClix or collectible card games or any of those with the dice mechanic. It's a thing that, boy, I am not going to allow myself to get into, because I have proven time and time again I cannot handle collectible games because I spend an insane amount of money on them. I wind up being the only person I know playing them. They end up as huge money pits for me because I am just not a mature enough adult. Unless they release sort of like a HorrorClix one that's all horror themed, and then I'm totally buying that. All right, and here we are in Kickstarter Corner. I'm very, very excited about this game this week. It is Fantasy Frontier. Fantasy Frontier is designed by Michael Coe, who's a friend of the show. He sent us a couple of his previous games that were Kickstarter successes, and we played them, and they're a lot of fun. It's a steampunk airship-themed kind of medium-weight Euro game. It has really traditional Euro game mechanics with worker placement and a modular board with tile placement. It's 2 to 4 players and plays in 45 to 90 minutes. And I bet this is actually going to be a really good game to introduce other experienced gamers into Euro games. Maybe people that play more thematic games but have avoided Euro games because maybe, I don't know, they're not into farming cabbage in the 1700s or taking naps under a shade tree in the south of France. But this has a little bit more of a theme to it with airships and stuff. It also has, you can attack other players, which isn't super common in most Euro games. So there's direct combat that happens. So it seems like a nice melding of all that stuff. And it seems like a pretty nice medium weight game. It's got a ton of really gorgeous components, lots of little wooden figures, wooden airships, stuff like that. So I definitely think you should get this if you are into Euro games or curious about Euro games at all. It costs $45 for the base set, and you can fund it now on Kickstarter. I'm going to have the links, along with links to all this stuff, as always, in the description below. All right, and that's our episode this week. I'm going to try a new thing with this little segment where normally I just go like, please subscribe to us, oh, we need your help. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer questions that you guys submit. And you can submit them in the comments below. You can post a video response. You can tweet at us. Basically, any way you can get in contact with us, feel free to send us questions that way. And it can be anything. It can be about my favorite game, or it can be about the show and how we do it. It could be my favorite Pokemon. Spoiler alert, it's Ghastly. But it can be whatever you want it to be. Probably there's a better chance if it's somehow board game or related or show related, but I don't know, send me anything and I'll pick one or two each week and answer that question in this segment. So thanks for sticking with us. We got content coming out still regularly, even though the series we're on a little bit of a pause while we get ready for the new season. Like us on Facebook, all that stuff, you know the drill. All right, thanks. See you guys next week.